We begin with breaking news at 10. It has happened again. For the third time since July, discolored water was released near the Maid of the Mist in Niagara Falls. This is video from the first time the spill happened. Now, just minutes ago, the DEC told us that late this afternoon, the Department of Environmental Conservation responded to another report of discharges associated with the Niagara Falls wastewater treatment plant and associated sewage system. The discharge occurred at a time of heavy rains in the area. The DEC says it wants the water board to take immediate action. We reached out to the board. We are waiting to hear back. Now, violating the water quality standards could lead to up to a $37,000 fine per day. The DEC also released a statement minutes ago and went on to say in part that the discolored water clearly constitutes a violation of the state's water quality standards. They call these continued violations wholly unacceptable. The DEC goes on to say it will pursue additional enforcement as part of their ongoing investigation. We're also told the DEC will give additional information as this becomes available. Again, this is just coming into our newsroom. As always, we will bring you updates as soon as we learn them here on TV and, of course, our website and social media pages. Also developing tonight in the city of Buffalo, police need your help finding a missing 16-year-old. Take a good look with me here. This is Talisha Looper. Police say she was last seen at LaSalle. She is 5 feet 6 inches tall, about 170 pounds. This is what she looks like. Take a good look. If you know where this young woman is, call 911.
The officers and the first strike team reached this 32nd floor within 12 minutes, which is phenomenal.
We are learning new details tonight about the events that unfolded after 64-year-old Stephen Paddock opened fire on thousands of people in Las Vegas. Around an hour ago, Las Vegas police updated us on the investigation. Tonight, we know Paddock had 1,600 rounds of ammunition and 50 pounds of an explosive in his car. The sheriff's office says Paddock began firing at 10:05 and stopped 10 minutes later. Police say Paddock shot off 200 rounds of gunfire into the hallway of the hotel when a security guard approached his room. The guard was shot in the leg. We're told Paddock had bugged his room outside with cameras in hopes of spying on police, but none of the cameras were ever recording. We're also learning Paddock had some type of escape plan, but the sheriff's office didn't explain what it was. Authorities are still trying to piece together exactly who Paddock was and why he did this.
We know is Stephen Paddock is a man who spent decades acquiring weapons and ammo and living a secret life, much of which will never be fully understood.
Police say they're looking into Paddock's mental health. Police also say the shooter rented a different hotel room in downtown Las Vegas through Airbnb at the Ogden around the same time as the Life is Beautiful concert in September. That featured artists like Chance the Rapper, Muse, Lorde, and Blink-182. Police haven't released details about their interviews with the shooter's girlfriend. And tonight we're hearing more Western New York stories about people who were in Las Vegas when the gunman opened fire. A Cheektowaga woman and her husband say they watched the shooting from their hotel room. They describe the scene as chaotic as they helplessly watch people run and hide. News 4's Rachel Monjovi Skype with the former Buffalonian and has their story tonight. Rachel?
Yeah, and Alina, over the past 3 days, we've heard from several people from this area about their experience in Las Vegas. The man I spoke to tonight says he was only a block away from Mandalay Bay, where the shooter was. He watched this senseless tragedy from his 25th floor hotel window.
It was absolute chaos. I mean, we saw lights and trucks and fire engines, and we had a view of the Mandalay Bay.
Former Western New Yorker John Paul says he watched the Las Vegas massacre unfold right before his eyes.
Everybody was running in the hotel. Some were bloody, saying there's a shooter outside, so people were hiding. It was absolutely surreal. Like, what are we watching?
Paul was staying at the MGM Grand Hotel with his wife, a Cheektowaga native. They checked in earlier that day. The couple watched from their hotel room as thousands of people ran for their lives.
We didn't know what was happening, if our hotel was going to be next.
As the MGM Grand went into lockdown for hours, the Pauls took cover.
I deadbolted the lock. I kept looking out the peephole. We were shutting our lights off, not knowing if shots were going to come into our window. I mean, we were a block and a half away from it.
Paul says he's been to Las Vegas dozens of times and never thought something like this would happen.
I've never felt not safe. I was never nervous. Even walking around at night, there's just so many people. I never felt scared.
But in that short amount of time, he says his sense of safety was gone and the flight home was heavy-hearted.
It was a really heavy, sad flight because everybody knew that there were people on the plane that had been at the concert.
Paul and his wife are now safe at home in Washington state. They were only in Las Vegas for less than 2 days. Reporting live, Rachel Monjovi, News 4 at 10.
Rachel, thank you. In the wake of the Las Vegas massacre, gun laws are on many people's minds. Tonight, New Yorkers Against Gun Violence teamed up with Stop the Violence Coalition to have an open conversation about gun control. People from both sides of the aisle gathered at St. Joseph's University Parish. Organizers say, although controversial, we need to talk about gun laws.
Make law part of the equation. What we can talk about is how we reduce gun violence. We're not talking about taking anybody's guns away. We're not talking about undoing the Second Amendment. We know what the Second Amendment says, the right to keep and possess arms. Nobody's trying to infringe on that. All we're trying to do is ask for common sense, sensible gun legislation.
After the meeting, a candlelight vigil was held for the victims of the shooting. And we have much more coverage of the shooting coming up at 10:30. We also have the latest updates posted on our website and social media pages. New at 10, Buffalo police say a 7-year-old boy is doing okay after being hit by a car earlier tonight. It happened just before 6 o'clock on Good Avenue. Police say the boy was riding his bike when he was hit. Police say he only has a few scrapes and was not transported to the hospital. And police need your help identifying the man in this picture. Look at him with me here. Police say this man robbed the M&T Bank in the 1500 block of Hurdle Avenue. Happened around 11:45 this morning. Police say the suspect is between 30 and 40 years old. If you know who he is, call police. The Niagara Falls City School District wants to change its sex education curriculum, and it's now asking for input from parents and students. Superintendent Mark Laurie says Niagara Falls has the highest STD and teen pregnancy rates than anywhere else in New York State. That's why he says sex ed and health need to be in every single school. Tonight, he presented his ideas to parents and some students. News 4's Shannon Smith joins us live in the newsroom with details on what students say is necessary.
Now, Lena, this isn't just about sex education. Superintendent Mark Laurie says the program would also cover overall health and would be age appropriate. Now, he says for students to learn healthy behaviors in high school, that's too late. Instead, these health talks need to start in elementary school.
I know some really young parents, like really young parents, under 18, like under 15 young parents. That says something about our education.
Sex education is so important.
Just some of the thoughts coming from Niagara Falls students who say they need better sex education and health programs in schools.
More female anatomy, male anatomy, learning about STD AIDS, how to prevent teen pregnancy.
Teen pregnancy and STD rates in Niagara Falls are some of the highest in New York State. Some students say too often taboo topics are ignored by parents and teachers, leaving kids to learn about it from their friends.
I'm already exposed to it through my peers. So it's like I would rather hear it from a teacher or someone that knows what they're talking about other than my peers, because they don't.
Superintendent Mark Laurie wants to change that and move from an abstinence only to an abstinence plus program. He presented his ideas to parents and students at Harry Abbott Elementary School Wednesday night, which includes having service providers like Planned Parenthood educate students on healthy behaviors.
Those conversations and those worries and those stressors that kids have are impacting and impeding their ability to come to school.
Before these changes can happen, Laurie is asking for feedback from both parents and students.
It's a transparent process in the community, and they know we're moving to break a cycle that's long overdue.
Some other ideas would be a mobile health van to go to different schools and offer things like physicals, dental, and health care to students for free. Now, parents would also have the option for their child to opt out of any course or topic. Another forum is scheduled for next week. Live in the newsroom, Shannon Smith, News 4 at 10.
Shannon, thank you. Up next, hundreds of people are on edge tonight, worried about what they will do for work and where they will go to get medical care. That story's next.